What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Bradley Blessed Hands in the building. So right here we're doing a mid fade. My camera was giving me a little issues, so right here I did the guideline with my Babyliss T outliners trimmer. Yeah, so you can see we started in the temple area. We are gonna be doing a mid fade. I went ahead and made it nice and smooth, nice and bald. Make sure we're nice and clean all the way around. And that's our first guideline. We're gonna be doing a mid fade. We're gonna be doing nothing on top. And then we are going to do our second guideline with no guard, with the lever open, which is what we call a half with no guard, lever open. So we're doing our second guideline. So yeah, most of you that know me, I really don't do haircuts with guidelines. I usually cut from top to bottom, no guidelines whatsoever. But I'm just, showing you guys that it is possible, can be done. It's good to know, both styles on how to cut hair. Both techniques are good, just as long as, the end result is clean and faded. And for different hair types, different hairstyles, I like to use different techniques. So it's good to know, every technique in the book, and you just pick your style, Also, guys, let me know what you guys like. I'm working on my channel. I'm doing different types of tutorials. Let me know if you like this voiceover style or the subtitle style, or live while I'm actually cutting hair at the moment with the mic on. Whatever works, whatever you guys like. Leave me a comment, subscribe, like the video. So right here we are using our 1.5 guard. His hair is not too long on the sides. Number 2 guard wouldn't have caught anything, so I went ahead and went directly to my 1.5 guard. Lever open. Now I'm just bringing down the bulk, brushing. With this type of hair, where it's a little bit thicker, curlier, it tends to be a little bit more coarse and curl up as you're passing the clipper up. So with each brush, it helps, clearly clean the fade out, and for you to be more visible on what you're doing and what you might be missing. So it's good to always keep a brush in your hand and constantly brush as much as you can. So now I'm passing my 1.5 guard still with the lever closed. And right now we're just focusing on bringing that side hair down. We're debulking. And don't mind my hair, guys. I need a haircut. I already know it. So don't mind me. It's hat season right now. I'm trying to let my hair grow out a little bit. Alright, don't judge me. It's like the barber never gets a haircut. The mechanic always got his car broken. The mechanics, the nail technician never got her nails done. It's kind of what I'm going through right now. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. So now we're done with our 1.5 guard, and we go to our 1 guard. Our 1 guard, lever open, and the same process all the way around. We are just debulking, working that guideline out, fading it out, blending it out. And as you're gonna see throughout this video, I like to use the with the grain technique, with this texture of hair. It just gives it more of a polished, smoother look as you're blending. Might miss any little dark spots, any, loose hairs. It just gives it, just a smoother, blended, finished look. So you'll see me do it a lot throughout this haircut in this video. And at the end, you'll see why. And if you notice, I left his corners too just a slightly darker. I didn't go too deep in with my clipper. His corners is already lighter, so I didn't want to go too light. That way, when I get to the edge at the end, when I'm shaping him up and doing his edge up, I have a little bit of a darker area to work with, and that edge up can pop out a little bit more. So yeah, basically we're now just, working that line out with our 1 guard, lever open, lever closed. Once you're done doing that section with your lever open, go ahead and close it. So you'll see, like, I'll be using right now with my lever open on this side, that whole side right there, my lever is open. Once I'm comfortable and I know that I already cut as much as I could, and it's all, cut down, that my clipper's not cutting any more hair, I go ahead and close it like you saw right there. And I use the same technique, same area. I'm just working that line out, blending it out, fading that guideline out. So once we're done with our 1 guard, we go to our 1/2 guard. And then we did our guideline. Remember, we did our second guideline with our no guard, blade open. So our 1/2 guard is gonna blend that line out. Open, close it, same technique, same area. We're working that line out. It's gonna come right out. Open the lever, blend that line out. You're blending into that 1.5 that we did previously. You go ahead, close it, blend right into that. And as you can see, I'm doing against the grain technique. And as you can see, it just gives it that nice smooth look at the end. And we're just basically doing the same technique. We're doing the same thing all the way around till that guideline is completely gone. small, consistent strokes. You don't want to go too high up. We want to stay in that area where that line is at. As you can see, I'm not going too high up. Remember, we're doing a mid fade. So we're just doing small, consistent strokes. Flick of the wrist.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true.
And yeah, guys, I've been busy with life, personal issues, and I'm trying to like upload as much as I can, keep you guys interested. Follow me on my Instagram page, follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my channel. Trying to give you guys, some shorts, some things that I've been working on. I've been trying to work on this tutorial, editing it, working on my recording skills, my voiceover skills, keeping you guys, entertained. So yeah, as you can see, they're just small, consistent strokes, and that line will be looking like butter. And once again, with the green technique, just giving it that polished look.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true.
So now that we're done with our half guard, we use no guard, lever closed, because remember, now we did our first guideline with the trimmer, our second guideline with no guard, the blade open. Now we're gonna have our blade closed, and we're gonna work that bottom line out. We're gonna fade it out, we're gonna blend it, we're gonna use the same short, consistent strokes, a nice flick of the wrist, use your corners, and we're just gonna work that line out. As you can see, I use my corners a lot. I use my clipper in an angle. I don't want to go too high because I don't want to bring my fade any higher than what it is. I don't want to create any more lines. I just want to work in between that half and that trimmer line. So that's why I have now my blade closed, because our first guideline was the trimmer, and our second guideline was the no guard, blade open. And now we have our blade closed, and we're just gonna focus on blending that very first guideline. So as you can see, again, I open up my blade all the way up, and I'm using with the grain technique. Once I was done blending that side out all the way with no guard, I use with the grain technique, and I lightly go over it with the grain, and it just gives it, it's just, a pet peeve of mine. I like doing the technique. I feel like it's always worked out for me. You guys don't have to use it. It's just, I feel like it's just a finishing touch. It just polishes up the fade with this type of hair a little bit more. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I've always used it. I learned how to do it that way. And if you guys like it, you guys can try it out. And as you can see, I just showed you guys, I'm going open and closing with my guard. With my lever. I'm working just certain dark spots that I'm seeing. Right there we have that last line on just on that side, and like you can see, I'm going a little bit slower here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going a little slower than I would usually do on a regular haircut, because I want you guys to see my technique on how I'm angling my clipper and using my corners and just working that line out.
You got it all inside.
And like I said, I'm going a little slower than I usually would. I don't want to hear you guys saying, man, he cuts hair really slow. I like to finish my haircuts, within 30-40 minutes is my goal time. But I purposely recorded this video to make this tutorial. I thought this was a pretty cool haircut. I felt like this fade would come out really clean, because we're doing the fade and we will be doing his beard as well, and we will be lightly using enhancements. So right here I'm going ahead and I'm fading his beard. He wanted a really nice shadow on his beard. He didn't want to keep it too high. He wanted to blend it out really good. And I usually do my beards that way. I like blending them out really low and having that really drastic transition from blend to dark. So I was kind of happy when he told me that I could go ahead and, blend it out really low. So a lot of people don't like it that way. You always ask if you want to keep your beard just blended lightly on top, like the sideburn area, or do you want to blend it out really low? So I always make sure, what the client likes, of course. And, I like it when the client just tells me, hey, do your thing, man. Just, make me look good. So that gives me a little bit, more free will on how I like to do my thing. So he wanted his beard nice and faded, and I like doing my beards nice and faded that way as well. So it was perfect. So basically we're doing the fade opposite, right? We had our trimmer, and then with no guard, we went ahead and, lever closed, blended a little bit down, and then we just work our lever, upwards all the way till we are up to our half. And then we go ahead and we do, the half guard, 1 guard, 1.5 guard, and now I'm at my 2 guard. And I'm going with the grain, against the grain, and I'm just fading it. I don't want no lines. I don't want to see no drastic transition. I want it to be nice and smooth. And remember, brush. That way you can see whatever you're missing, any lines that might not show. And then we're going to bring his mustache down. Usually the most common when people bring their mustache down a little bit, you use your 1 guard, lever open, lever closed. Here I'm going to do it again, lever closed. And then we slightly start opening our lever up, working it down all the way to our blade is open. Our lever is all the way open. So right there we have that line. We're gonna blend it. We're gonna get our half guard. We're gonna blend that. Then I open my lever up, and we keep bringing it down a little bit more. Then we go to our one guard in the same process, all the way up to our two, because that's what his beard was. It was about a two length. So at the end, that's where you see me using my 1.5 guard two with the grain again. Just working that line out. Now here, as you can see, I grab my comb. I'm combing his beard out. And with no guard, I'm just evening it lightly. All his little stragglers, little loose hairs. And I want to create a nice even look, a nice round look all the way around. Usually I'll tell my clients to please not talk, but hey, he was a first-time client. He found me out on shout out Booksy. First-time customer. You know, because you want your client to stay kind of still, you know? You don't want to mess up his beard either. This reminds me of one time I was in the barber shop, and I'm talking like 12, 13 years ago. I had a client that loved to talk while I was doing his beard. And I would, shake my head, let him know, yeah, man, yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Hey, man, stay still real quick. Let me line you up. Let me, blend this out. And he would keep on talking. And, I'm doing my blend. And I take my guard off. And I'm lightly taking some stragglers. And he just starts talking again and looks at me real quick while he's talking. And he got a crazy bald patch on his beard. Entirely his fault, but I felt super bad. He kind of laughed it out. He's like, you know what, man, just give me a goatee. He was super cool. He was a client of mine for a long time, still is, and he was cool about it, thank God. But you always kind of want to tell your client, especially when you're doing his beard, to not talk. So here we're going and we're using our Babyliss liners, and we are lining up the beard, keeping it straight across the jawline, having a nice edged out line. And we're gonna line up his mustache right above his lip, all them little stragglers that grow around his lip. And you always ask your client how he wants his mustache, if he wants it, natural, if he wants it just cleaned up, if he wants it thinner. Some people like it in an angle. It all depends on what your client, wants. That's why it's good to have, a few minute consultation, especially if it's a first time client. Just spend that extra, 5-10 minutes to make sure you know exactly what your client wants, what's he looking to do, what's his end goal with his beard, his mustache, his eyebrows, his hair. That way you guys have like a mutual understanding and you can work comfortably and know what he wants, and you both can be happy. You're gonna be happy because you got a client happy, you're getting paid good, and your client leaves happy, and it's a potential returning customer. So everybody's happy.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove.
So this is a little something that clients love, and I'm telling you, love that I do. Is always clean the nose hairs. If you see your client has nose hairs, don't even ask. Just go ahead and clean it out. And I've always gotten good reviews about it, always gotten good comments about it. They love when you just go ahead and clean out those nose hairs. Just a little FYI there for you guys. And then right here, I combed out the hairs on top of the fade area. Like I said in the beginning, he's not doing anything off the top, but he had a few little stragglers on the sides, and he's looking for that squared off look. So with no guard and just a pulse, an even steady pulse, steady hand, I'm just lightly taking away any stragglers so I could create that even squared off look. And then here we're gonna go ahead and do the lineup up front. My client wanted a nice edge up. I asked him if he wanted it natural or how did he want it, and he said he wanted it to look as sharp as possible. So I went ahead and combed down the little baby hairs that he had. And then you'll see here I get my one guard and I'm going with the grain. And I'm just lightly flicking them down, taking in these little extra hairs. And just like tapering the edge up a little bit. Brushing them down again. And then I start off the middle. And I work my way off to the sides. I don't want to push him back. But he did say he wanted a nice sharp edge. So I'm trying to make his edge as sharp as possible without pushing him back, because his corners are light already. And I'm just lightly tapping. And this is why I kept in the very beginning those corners lightly darker. So when I edged it up, it would just have that illusion where it's nice and sharp. And I do the same thing on the other side. Start from the middle, work my way off to the side.
You make me look, you make me look. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me look, you make me look. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me look, you make me look. You got it all inside of you.
Then here we go ahead and we apply some shaving gel. Lather him up pretty good. We're gonna bring our line down, make him comfortable. Bring our barber chair down. And this was a full service haircut, so we apply the hot towel. Make our client feel as comfortable as possible. Put our steamer, make sure those pores are nice and lathered up, opened up. We get that nice sharp lines in, smooth skin, you know, and keep our clients nice and happy. Clients like when you go a little bit the extra mile, show that you care, show that they matter, you know? It's the little things, guys. It's a little attention to detail.
You make me look, you got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me look, you make me look. be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true.
So after we ran the blade, lined them up, as you can see, I go ahead and start using my enhancements. I don't like doing the enhancements very dark. I like to keep them as natural looking as possible. I don't want it to look very fake. I'm not against enhancements. I don't use them very often, but sometimes the client likes it. Sometimes they ask if you do it. I do them. I just try to keep it always as natural as possible. So I'm always making sure, it's nice and even. They're both equally as dark or as light. And just making sure, there's not one side darker than the other or one side is higher than the other. So I'm just taking my time, making sure it's all equally balanced out. Then I go ahead again with my blade and I make sure those corners and everything is nice and sharp after the enhancements. Just one little last touch up.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove.
that's pretty much it, my guys. And let me tell you something, guys. Here you're gonna see, I've seen a lot of barbers not do this. Finish up the very last little details. Clean those neck hairs. I've seen a lot of barbers not pull the shirt down just a little bit more. Take that extra minute, extra couple of seconds, and bring those neck downs, those neck hairs out. Just cut them down, because I've seen a lot of barbers, nice clean cuts, and your client's wearing a t-shirt and they got all them neck hairs still sticking out. So make sure you clean them all up. Apply a little bit of hair grease or hair gel or curl enhancer or some conditioner, whatever you prefer to use. My client wanted the sponge look, so I go ahead and hydrate the hair a little bit, work it in, and then I go ahead and proceed to sponge that baby out. Make them twists look fire. With that butter fade.
Dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move.
Then I go ahead with some little bit of aftershave, some alcohol, apply it all around the neck. Since we use enhancements, I'm gonna lightly do it above the beard, right where the lineup is, because you wanna let those enhancements dry up. You don't want the alcohol to smear it out the way, you know. So lightly tap it up. And you got my man looking fresh, guys. So once again, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Working on some more tutorials, some more shorts, some more fun stuff. I'm working on a vlog here coming soon. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, ask any questions, anything that anything you guys might think that I could do better, anything that you guys want to see. Any haircuts you want a tutorial on. I have clients of all races, all types of hairs, all different types of backgrounds. So if you guys want to see any particular type of hair, any kind of haircut, just go ahead and let me know, guys. Appreciate it. Peace out.